just mastered a wonderful fight in the law courts on behalf of the Commonwealth citizens of this country and has made it possible for them to be able to go and get registered to vote. And we are so proud of his excellent work. And with the help of the Christchurch East constituency, we are asking you to give us Wilfred Abrams full-time, not part-time. Let us walking up the steps so that he can begin to do the work of getting Barbados to balance. So, Barbados Labour Party, everybody, let us give a rousing welcome to Mr. Wilfred Abrams.
Sinking, Captain, these seas are rough. No truer words were ever spoken. Good night, family. I can't hear you. Good night, family. Tonight, it is my great pleasure to come to the constituency of my good friend, Ronald Toppin. To come to St. Michael South, North. You see, I check in to see if you're listening. Where is it? St. Michael what? To come to the constituency of St. Michael North to support my friend Ronald Toppin. Toppin is a man who has represented St. Michael North for over 20 years and done so with distinction. A man that is as close to his people now as when he first started. That is commitment. And after the next election, Tops, as we call him, will be Tops again in St. Michael North. Now, there are so many things that happened recently that I could talk to you all about. So many things. But I'm just going to focus on sewage and garbage. I told you all about the man at the top. Now I can tell you all about some men at the bottom. There's a man called Low. So low, you can't even hear his cries. And a man known as the pit bull. A pit bull without testicles. A neutered, ineffective pit bull, a puppy. Two men with all talk and no action. And as a result, Barbados is now known more for raw sewage than it is for the sun and the sand and the beaches and the people that we used to be known about. A government under Mayor Motley would never have let that crisis on the South Coast get to the position where it is. We care too much. We know to manage. We would never put people's health in jeopardy. As we stand here tonight, all is not well. All is not well. I mean, we could list them all off. The economy is crumbling. The foreign reserves at the lowest they have been for decades. The roads are in a mess. We actually have more potholes now than we have road. Garbage can't get collected. No buses. And sewage in the street. Y'all understand what sewage in the street really says about Barbados? The Barbados, we know, is collapsing. Barbados is crumbling. I don't want to say, it gives me no pleasure to say that, but Barbados is crumbling. And Frandl wants 90 more days. 90 more days to do what? And for whom? And you all read the PSC report. Make it your business to read it. Get a copy. And just skip is a lot of stuff. We did a lot of work. Skip to the end for the findings and the recommendations. You will find out what they did in this same period last election. You will know why they are loitering in our democracy now. It's not about you. It's not about me. You all read today's paper? The front page? I ain't saying nothing more about that. I ain't saying nothing more about that. Tomorrow marks the constitutional end of the Parliament of Barbados. That is the time when the Parliament of Barbados actually dissolves. Don't clap. Please don't clap. Y'all understand what happens when the Parliament of Barbados dissolves tomorrow? As of tomorrow, they can't call Parliament again. The only government in Barbados is the existing cabinet of Barbados. That Potkite cabinet are the sole people in charge of Barbados. We have tried hard in the opposition to protect you from what is going on. We have tried to be there by your side. We will continue to fight for you, but we can't do it from Parliament. They can do whatever they want without parliamentary oversight. Government is about choices. The whole Westminster system is about choices. In 2008, Barbados chose to put in the DLP. In 2013, a lot of us got surprised, but people chose to put them back in again. In light of what is going on, the choice you have to make soon is clear. Barbados cannot take another 5 years of them. Look, we've had some great leaders in the past. I mean, I can be fair. Grantley Adams, great man. Tom Adams, great man. Owen Arthur, great man. Errol Walton Barrow, a great man. Unfortunately, all of the Dems still voting for Errol Barrow. And that is where the confusion is coming in. They cannot understand that Barrow would not even recognize his own party if he saw it now. These are not Barrow Dems. This is the worst government in the history of Barbados. This is the worst government since the Arawaks. I'm not saying that compared to us, they're the worst. If you even compare them to the next worst DLP government, they are the worst. You know, it's about choices. I did not choose to have bad roads. I did not choose for CBC to be in debt. I did not choose for the hospital to be in a mess. I did not choose for sewage to be in the streets. But what has happened there are as a result of definite choices that this government has made. If you choose to do nothing, you've actually made a choice. If you do nothing, you have made a choice. Frandl Stewart and his government has chosen to do nothing as Barbados crumbled. Sanitation and healthcare are two of the most important things a government has to guarantee its citizens. Two of the most. This government has failed miserably in both. This is not a government about the people. This is a government for themselves. You remember when they had the NSRL? When they first brought it in, they said it was to help out the hospital and to buy garbage trucks. You remember that? In the first 6 months, they raised $50 million. QEH is still a mess and not one single garbage truck. How many times have you all heard the garbage trucks got ordered? About 5 years ago, Lowe said he ordered the trucks. They then said the trucks were coming. They then said they had to investigate whether to use solar trucks or other energy efficient trucks. He then said they had to investigate what size compactor truck best worked for Barbados, but they were coming. I don't know how you could order them and then investigate which is the best one. Those trucks have been coming so often. Not one truck. It's like if the man ordered the trucks from China and his second cousin is personally bringing them in a Moses by himself in pieces. Where are the trucks? You know, that's the trucks. But more than that, let's talk about responsible and irresponsible. About 2.5 years ago, Mayor Motley advised Barbados that there was sewage flowing in the streets. Y'all remember that? And what does government have to say? That wasn't talked right yet. They denied that what was flowing in the streets was raw sewage. They denied it. On December the 11th, 2016, we spent our good money as a party and we had a massive meeting in Top Rock. Y'all remember that? And we got up and we explained to Barbados that what is happening. There's sewage in the street. There's sewage in the sea. The sewage system is not working. And what was the response? What was the response? Richard Seeley and John Boyce decide to go and swim in it. Well, you know what? I would like them to go and swim in it now. John Boyce, if you are a man, go and swim in it now. Richard Seeley, you're big. If you're that big, go and swim in it now. 2.5 years ago, we chose to be a responsible opposition. We chose to come and put it to the people and to advise the government. Imagine if they had started working on it 2 years ago, what would happen? It'd be fixed by now. It would be fixed by now. One of the best things, Owen Arthur used to say this all the time. And if I remember one thing about Owen Arthur, I remember it till the day I die, it is this. Face it and fix it. Face it and fix it. If you have not faced the fact that there's sewage in the streets, you can't fix the problem. If the government is denying it is there, then they're not doing anything about it. They chose to ignore us. They chose to ignore us and do nothing. Now the whole of the South Coast wash away in sewage. The whole, I can't say that word from my head. It rhymes with light. And you know, when they finally got around to accepting that something was wrong, what did they have to say? It was a problem with the pump. It was a problem with it. Simple solutions. How many times has that problem been fixed? How many times has somebody from the government said, we have fixed it once and for all? You know what? The Prime Minister of Barbados chose to neglect the well-being of the people of Christchurch and chose to neglect the people of Barbados. This is complete incompetence on the part of this government. They have a lot to answer for. But the problem is, I don't think they have the capacity to deal with it. They do not have the capacity to handle these small things. They definitely do not have the capacity to handle all of that on the South Coast. This is a crisis problem. But you know who has the capacity to do it? Do you know who has the solution? Mia Amor Motley, the next Prime Minister of Barbados. Mia has realized you cannot have people living in, walking in, driving in, sitting in, eating in raw feces. She has realized that. What Barbados needs now is caring, decisive leadership. That's what we need more than anything else. We need caring, decisive leadership. And you all watched Mia's press conference last week. Mia said, there are many solutions. She accepts that the government has started digging these deep injection wells. Now, the engineers are divided on whether that's the best thing, but Mia ain't criticized the people problem. She said, okay, y'all have put forward one possible solution. It may work. Some of it may work. None of it may work. What's the backup plan? For something as big as this, you can't have one plan. You need to have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. And Mia said, look, if I am not criticizing what you did, because there may be many ways to approach it, but something has to be done. If we were elected tomorrow, this is what a Mia Motley-led government would do. Understand, everybody is not going to agree with the plan here. Some people are also already making mischief and misrepresenting. But don't mind that. We would choose to explore multiple solutions at the same time while being smart with our resources. Solutions that if they work, we could then use them back down the road in the next plan. Right? If they don't work, we have another plan. As a matter of extreme urgency, we are going to declare it a crisis situation. We are going to call it what it is. We are going to face it and fix it. We're going to call it a crisis because that is what it is. We will purchase several modular membrane bioreactor units. Now, I had to research that. When Mia was talking about it, I had no clue as to what she was talking about. But I had to go and research that. Now, understand something. These are units that allow you to sift out. Sorry. I have time issues. That's what? That allows you to sift out the solid, treat the liquid, and you can then discharge the liquid into the sea, or you can use it back for water or irrigation purposes. Just so I know. How much time I have left, please? Oh, Lord, I got to skip. We're going to cordon off the affected areas. We're going to close down the food businesses in the affected areas. Not all the food businesses on the South Coast. We're going to close down the ones in the affected areas. We cannot take the risk. We're going to divert the traffic so the only people who need to be in that area are in that area. We're going to relocate visitors, give them an option, put them in established hotel rooms or encourage them to use private residential accommodation. Right? We are going to involve other governments with the technical know-how to help us to get the problem done. We're going to use those governments along with our people to try to get this here solved. The affected areas are going to be sanitized as often as necessary. As often as necessary. That's what they're not doing now. It has to be an effort, a collaborative effort between the Barbados Water Authority, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of the Environment, and the Chief Medical Officer. We're going to involve everybody. We're going to identify the blockages as a matter of urgency and excavate. We are going to dig it up and find it and fix it. We acknowledge there are multiple ways to deal with this. We are suggesting one. So the government is free to take that or not take it or use it as plan B. Actually, we are putting that out there because we care about Barbados. We're not keeping it secret. We care too much about Barbados. If they want to use our plan, use our plan. Take the credit for it. We don't care once Barbados is good. This government chose to build a $63 million Barbados Water Authority headquarters and refused to maintain the sewage plant for over 10 years. They chose to build a $35 million Sanitation Service Authority headquarters and not one truck. Not one truck. You know when you have a nightmare? I don't know if this has happened to me. You know when you got that nightmare that the demon chasing you and you're trying to run from it and it's catching you and you're trying to scream and it's catching in your throat and you just can't get it out? You know what I want? And you wake up and you find out that you turn over and back sleep on your face in a pillow. This is like that, except this nightmare ain't finished yet. We are not waking up from it, and this nightmare is real. This nightmare is real, Barbados. This government has chosen to neglect us. It has chosen not to do its job. It has chosen to run past the time allocated to it under the Constitution of Barbados for governing Barbados. It has chosen to abuse you and me. It has chosen to keep us waiting. I want an election. Y'all want one? Say it loud so the D's that listening can hear and carry back the front door. Do y'all want an election? My time's short. Can you keep a secret? Christchurch North, can you keep a secret? I got a secret for y'all. Are you ready for election? But no. Shh. Toppin, ready for election. But shh. You know who else ready? Mia, ready for election. This government has brought Barbados to its knees. We are a proud people. We're not accustomed to suffering. Our pride has taken a beating. We are on our knees. We are hurting and we are suffering. But there is a solution. The solution has to do with change. It is time when people in Barbados have to stand up and take the government of this country into their own hands. There is time when a time is coming when you exercise the most powerful letter in the alphabet. You get the chance to place an X next to somebody. If I was here, I would put my X for Ronald Toppin. I would put 10 X's for Toppin. I would X out Toppin's whole name so they will know that it was the space with the X's that a name used to be. That's how much confidence I have in Toppin. I have a deep, don't go do that here. See, Ronald Toppin, and then put the X in the box without touching the lines. I have a deep and abiding faith in Barbadians. Bajans can recover from anything. Bajans can pull themselves up by their bootstraps and rebuild Barbados from the mess it is in now, literally and figuratively. But Bajans, we are not going to leave you. We are not going to forsake you. We are on the front line fighting for you. Are you ready to get up, Barbados? Are you ready for the change to come? Are you ready for Mia Amor Motley? Are you ready for the Barbados Labour Party? Who do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want? Good night. God bless. I want them to.
Let me hype up this place, Labour Party family. Will the driver of M7950 please